Okay, so well, I guess we'll start off by talking about Journal 7. I'll go first. So the five groups that I put that form my identity, I'm a female student, Christian, I'm a STEM major, and then also a young adult. And that was honestly kind of hard to pick like five identity groups that I fit into because I never really thought about it. Um, and then for my positive and negative experiences, they mainly fit into, I feel like, what I'm focused on right now, and a lot of us our age are focused on right now. So as my positive, um, I picked the young adult category. So as a young adult who is about to graduate college and like look for a career, I feel supportive and there's it's like a safety feeling knowing that everyone else our age is also kind of in that same position. We're all like, I feel like worried about the future a little bit, eager to know what it will look like. We're all nervous about like job searching and stuff like that. So there is some like comfort in knowing that kind of a lot of people are in that same situation. And then as far as negative, it's kind of weird one, I guess. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but my roommates and I actually talk about this like a decent bit. So I'm a STEM major, and so I'm biology, and they're like humanities, business type stuff. Um, but I felt like I didn't get much like academic help or guidance because like my classes were so big and because like my college is so big. And then also with that, like all of my classes have been lecture halls. So like all my classes have 250 kids in it versus like them, they like individually know their professors and get more guidance and help and can build that relationship because their classes are like 20 kids. So that was definitely one negative thing that I could think about being my major. And again, those are both like experiences I've had here, but those are like two big ones I could think that like I've talked about lately or like impacting my life currently.
Okay, yeah. No, I think it was like really hard for me as well to like split myself into like five different groups. It was definitely not easy. But yeah, no, I completely agree with, being a young adult and like everybody being in the same boat and going through the same thing. It's kind of like reassurance, kind of in a way that, you're not the only one out there. And it really helps when you like talk to people and you're able to like connect with them and like on the good things and the bad things and the good things like you're graduating and everything like I completely agree. I'm graduating next semester as well, so it's really nice to know that I'm not the only one out there. um and then I'm also a STEM major. I'm a bio major,
Okay.
and I actually ended up changing my major two times, and it was because I didn't get that one-on-one like not enough like academic support that I needed. And I completely agree. Like a lot of like my friends who are like political sci majors or humanities or any of those, they definitely get like smaller classes, and I feel like that really helps with your um, academic progress. I feel like, but for us, like you have chemistry, you have physics, even like I took some nutrition classes. They were pretty big. So I mean, yeah, no, I completely agree with you, and it's not easy, definitely.
I'm probably gonna go the opposite route because I'm a business major. But um I kind of agree with what you guys are saying because a lot of our like accounting classes, econ, like that's like the big lecture halls. But and obviously it's like I think it's like the second biggest major at state, so our advisors are like spread out so much. But I'm double majoring, so my other major is poli sci, so I get that more one-on-one, which I'm very thankful for. And that's like, I have to get like letters of rec for law school, and I wouldn't have been able to do it with just business professors because they know like everyone. So I guess that's kind of a positive and a negative part of my identity. And then I also put, I think we're kind of doing all the same ones, but I put Gen Z instead of young adult. And I think that I was saying how it makes me not only connected to like my peers in college, but also like my younger siblings because we're still in the same generation and um kind of like the older people in Gen Z. I don't really know. But and then I also put female student and I put bilingual because I speak Spanish as well. And I think that's a cool part of my identity that I can also like take to the community at NC State. Like I do tutoring of ESL kids. So I think that's a cool way to outreach. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so for my five categories, I didn't really know what to put and I kind of struggled with it. So I put Charlotte because that's where I'm from and I grew up. And then I put Dog Mom. I feel like that's a pretty big community in itself, so I thought it would be like good. Um, I also put Gen Z because yeah, it not only helps you connect with like the people around you, but like people a little bit maybe older, younger. And then I put so I'm actually half Hindu and half Sikh. So I'm two religions. My parents are one each. And I just thought that instead of clubbing those into one category, I thought, those are very two like different identities. So I put them like separately. And my positive experience, um, so I think it's coming to a state school. I think the biggest advantage you have is like people coming from like neighboring cities or, people coming from North Carolina and even South Carolina in general. Um, it really helps you make friends and connect with new people because once you hear like, oh, I'm from Charlotte, or maybe like you guys went to the same swim school or anything because I was a swimmer, it really, really helps like connect and make friends. So I think that really, really gave me an advantage as to, I would say like some international students or some people out of state. Um, but yeah. And then a negative experience I've had is so for one of, so being a Hindu, one of our festivals we just celebrated recently, it's called Diwali. It's like the Festival of Light. And so I'm from Charlotte, but I live in Cary right now. And there's like this huge ground in which a lot of Indians came and celebrated Diwali, which is where you burst like firecrackers, essentially. And they kind of used the ground, burst the crackers, and they kind of littered and they didn't clean up after themselves and really left a mess. And I just think that's like, of course, like people and neighbors and everyone part of that community were really mad, and it's very, um, it's not right. But I just think it puts a really bad look on Indians, which I feel like is unfair because of just like one group of people who did that. And I know a lot of people who complained, which rightly so. But I think also what people don't understand here is like there's like North Indian, South Indian, very completely different people, completely different lifestyle, cultures, languages. There's over it's like 300 languages. But it's just really hard being grouped into that category and being stereotyped. So that's what I put for my negative experience.
Wow, I never
Nice.
like would have thought about that or known that without you explaining all
Mhm.
that. So thank you. And then
Yeah.
I was just gonna like kind of piggyback off of what you were saying about like being from Charlotte and it like even giving you like a big community here. One thing that like it didn't take me very long to put together once I started here was that I feel like everyone here is connected in like one way or another.
Yeah.
Very weird
Mhm.
to me. Even I don't like meet many people from out of state. Most people are from like Raleigh, Charlotte area. Um,
Mhm.
but everyone in one way is like connected to each other. And like, it's like a huge school. I never would have thought that I would see people from home all the time, which is fine.
Yeah.
But
No, I
it's
completely
like very
agree.
odd to me, but like I was saying, like I meet one person and they know this person and that person knows that person and then everyone it's a very strange thing to me, but it kind of gave me like a sense of comfort when I first started here, knowing that that's how it was.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's like it's comforting that it's a small world and you get to know,
Mhm.
like even today I get surprised. Like I'll be talking, my friend will be like, wait, I know her or
Yeah.
I know him. You know, they went to like school together or they, were part of this thing together or they grew up together. And I'm like, that is also really scary
Hmm.
that everybody knows everybody. But yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree.
Okay. Should we move on to journal number 5?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
Sure.
It was the one about sitting outside by yourself for 15 minutes and then like getting away from everything, keeping your phone off,
Hmm.
and then after time has passed, like write about basically how it was. So I wrote that it was nice to take a break from the stress of life that happens, especially like we were talking about during this time of year with like midterms, job search, like planning our schedule for next semester, because I feel like I'm very much in the thick of that right now, and it can be stressful. So it was nice to take a break because I don't go for walks often. I don't like take a break from the stress and just try to decompress. And I wrote, listening to the sounds of nature allowed me to refocus and shift my mindset to like more positive and really, like I said, just breathe, like de-stress, come back, ready to go back to what I was working on, studying for whatever it was, um, with like a with like a fresh mind. So yeah, that was nice, and I feel like I need to do that more often. I tell myself I need to do that more often. I don't, but it actually, even like 30 minutes would probably be more ideal. Just go for like a 30-minute walk every day just to clear your mind. I know a lot of people do that and also recommend that. And I think it's kind of hard this time of year because it's cold and rainy, but I think I could really benefit from it.
Yeah, no, I kind of wrote something similar where I do say I love nature and I love connecting with nature. So like usually like when I travel or anything, I try and pick a place that's very uh there's like a lot of nature, a lot of wildlife, fauna, flora. So like taking that 15 minutes and just, being on my own, being off my phone and not thinking about everyone and just disconnecting myself from everything. It was really helpful and it kind of brings you back to it kind of centers yourself and like, what your priorities are, what your goals are, and really like how much you stress on the little things that honestly really don't matter in the bigger picture. And yeah, I would love to keep doing it. It's really hard because, really busy with job search and, finals and coming up and, it's also like a very busy week. So yeah, but I'm gonna try and do this some more. I did feel more calm. I did feel more present, detached from everyone. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what everything y'all were saying. Um, I try to go on a walk every day just to like reset, kind of have like not reflection about my day, but kind of like that. But in the 15 minutes, I was just sitting outside on a bench at, do you guys know where like Dorothea Dix is? The park.
Mhm.
I was sitting there and I was with my dog and um well, I couldn't really like completely calm down because other dogs kept coming up to him and like trying to talk to him or not talk, trying to interact with him. So, um, but I love people watching, so that's kind of like calming for me and just like watching the families, like I was writing down that there was this family of like three little girls and they were all just like they just were running around for like probably I probably sat there for honestly like an hour, but for like the whole hour they like wouldn't stop. And then their dog was like chasing them and it was just adorable. And I saw like couples walking by. There was this like elderly couple that was making a picnic, and I was like about to cry. It was so adorable. But yeah. Um I saw a lot of squirrels. I could hear the cars from Western Boulevard or the road that goes parallel to the park, but it was kind of like a softer noise in the back. Mainly it was just I could hear people. There was like a slight breeze. It was a nice day. Yeah.
Sounds nice. I've never like, I don't think I've ever actually been there. Definitely not just like sat there or anything like that. I've been wanting to go, but I don't know. I just don't like if I like I'm gonna go for a walk. I don't usually like sit there, but so you guys both have dogs?
Yes. I
Yeah,
have a
my
boxer.
oh, sorry.
I was just saying I have a boxer.
Okay, nice.
I
Yeah.
took my this wasn't like my college dog. I took my dog from home
Okay.
and brought him down to the park. But I'm from Raleigh, so it was kind of
Okay.
a short
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah, mine's from home. Not my college job, but yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I used to think about bringing my dog to my apartment sometimes, but I was like, in my old apartment, I lived on the
Mhm.
ninth floor and the elevator would break a lot. And I was like, if it breaks and she has to go outside, like she's way too old to be climbing 9 flights of stairs and I can't
Yeah.
carry her. That's just
Yeah.
not happening. So,
Yeah. No, I know. I got like I was feeling a little bit homesick this past week or
mhm.
two, and I was like, maybe I should foster a dog. And my dad's like, no,
Yeah,
don't foster a dog. Because then I know if it started like, going like peeing in my apartment, I would actually like freak out.
I want to like, okay, I really want a dog like right now, but I'm like, that's not my smartest decision. I'm gonna wait until like after I get a job and after I like know my routine and everything. But my roommate has a dog and that does not help. Um, But I thought about like fostering a dog, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, like you should do it. It'd be so cute. He'd love to have someone to play with." But everyone's like, "You get attached to it and not get rid of it." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "No, I wouldn't." But also, I got thinking about it, and I was like, "The pet fee, like I don't know how all that would work, and like it's kind of
Mhm.
expensive, and I don't really want to pay that." As much as I would love to foster a dog, also, again, maybe not my best decision. So yeah, but I will be getting one probably within like the next year because I just feel like I
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah, I said whenever I have like a stable job and
Mhm.
I live somewhere that I can have a dog, I'll get one immediately. I want a Boykin. Do you know the Boykin Spaniels?
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
They're like the really dark, they like have this like really dark brown coat and they have like the curly ears and
Hmm.
they're like traditionally hunting dogs. I wouldn't take it hunting, but um I just think they're really cute and they have like the golden eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you definitely should. I'm also like thinking like once I get my job and I'm like have a routine, I know where I'm settled and I'm gonna be there for a few years, I'm definitely gonna get a dog.
Yeah. I just, like I was saying, as much as I want one right now, I know with everything like coming up, it's just not.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah, I feel
fostering
like I
is a
wouldn't give
great
it
idea.
the time it
Fostering
needs.
would be a really good idea, you know. And
Mhm.
I think it's always better to adopt
Hmm.
than, yeah.
Do you want to do journal entry 6 now?
Yeah.
Sure. How much time do we have left?
So we can stop at 9:37, so like 12 minutes.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Is this the journal entry where we went on an hour-long walk?
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Did you guys want me to start or?
Yeah, you can. It's up to you.
Okay. Yeah, so we had to go on an hour-long walk and kind of see our surroundings through the lens of Cameron's grammar of animacy, and which is kind of like the idea that the natural world is alive and it's filled with beings rather than like things. So I tried to like go on a walk and like again like disconnect from the world, but also like keep that in mind and just kind of see that. So I did go to Dorothea Dix. I love going there. I love like walking and then you see like downtown and then you can go into the woods and then there are
Hmm.
hammocks where I like to kind of like take a second and just like lay there because it's really, really nice, especially like with like the fall colors coming in. It's I love sitting there. But yeah, I'm always used to like doing things and like going for walks with like with people too. So it was really nice to go on my own again. And you know, I saw that I got kind of like hyper focused on like each detail and like little thing. And I love to people watch a lot, so that was definitely there. And I feel more connected with nature and myself even. And when I was trying to kind of see it like as there's like beings around me, not like little things. You kind of see it all through like a different lens. Um, and it was actually really funny because they added the trolls there, so it was just really, really funny
Oh
to see that
yeah.
there, and I was like kind of shocked. But yes.
I guess I can go next. Um, oh yeah. Also, when I was sitting down that one day that I was talking about my dog, I saw the trolls and I was like, what in the world is
I got
this?
scared for a second.
But yeah, I just went for a walk around. I live over by like Village District, so I went on a walk just through those neighborhoods back there. Um, and I was mainly just there's obviously a lot of houses, but a lot of the houses had like really interesting like greenery, landscaping things or like trees. Like this one house had like palm trees in its front yard. And then the next house had like a weeping willow in its front yard. And I kind of saw those as just like different, like in the prompt it says like describes he describes something as like silly. And I thought it was just kind of like it felt like a little like amusement park almost where it was like, okay, palm trees and a weeping willow. And the next house had like this garden of like a big flower garden and stuff. Not silly, but I thought it was just really unique. And if I wouldn't have been like by myself, not on my phone, or just kind of being in touch to my surroundings, I wouldn't have noticed things like that. Because I feel like I'm just normally walking and like either talking to someone or like changing the music on my phone or like just not really paying attention. But this really made me slow down and kind of like take in my surroundings and how it made me feel and just like, I don't know, just the vibes.
Yeah, it was nice to like disconnect for an hour and try not to think about all the studying I was doing. I wrote about how I guess I kind of have always seen the world from Kimmerer's perspective, but never like actually put much thought into it to know that I did. Um, Obviously there's like inanimate objects and then a lot or things that are like alive, but I've always seen the world as like as a big picture. I've always seen it as like alive because of all of the moving pieces that come together. And not necessarily like alive in a breathing sense, but like in an alert and active way. Um, so it was nice to like go for a walk and think more in depth about that. But also this time of year is really nice because like you guys were saying, the trees are different colors, like the weather's well, now it's cold out, but it was nice. Um, and just to think about that a little more. So like at first when we first started read or listening to the video and reading about her perspective, I was like, it's kind of weird that someone puts it this way almost. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, I feel like I've always felt like that and seen the world like that. I just, like I said, I never really put much thought into it. So yeah. So how
Yeah,
have
no,
you,
I completely agree.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying like I completely agree, and I think like as a child maybe I would have I like naturally saw, my surroundings and the environment around me like through a lens like that. But now that I'm forced to, I'm just like kind of reconnecting to that time when I did.
Mhm.
I think it's definitely important that all of us reconnect with nature, or like if you
Mhm.
already, and then you like continue. Because I think I have like, was it ebbs and flows? Sometimes I'm like really good, and then other times like now, like I don't even go for walks. So I do need to like place more of an emphasis on making sure that I'm doing that.
Yeah, I agree. It's like really hard. Yesterday, I was like, I'm not going outside. This is, I'm
No,
driving to
yesterday it
class.
was like a storm. It was like I was getting blown away walking to class.
Yeah, and I just like, I hate the cold weather. So it's just going to be really hard for me to
Oh
get
yeah.
up, suit up my jackets. And normally I walk to class, but that's probably going to be my walk of the day. I'm not going to
Mm,
go on any
Yeah.
extra.
yeah.
I
No,
feel like
even
it
like
was good.
no, go ahead. It's okay.
Okay. I was gonna say I feel like it was kind of hot, and then it was maybe like an okay temperature for a few days, and then it was like cold.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
it just like came and hit us, and I was like, I'm not ready for this. Like if it can be like this slow, gradual,
like a transition.
yeah, like I'll be okay. But this whole like just all of a sudden being like cold, and then the rain and wind on top of it is just not.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I think I'll stay inside today.
And then also the sun setting so early was it was hard because I felt so like tired by like 6 p.m. and I'm like it's only 6
Mm.
p.m. but yeah.
Yes, that's my least favorite part of winter. I like
Yeah.
love the holidays. That part is great, but at 5:30 it should not be getting dark.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
That's why I love the summer because it could be like literally it could be 9 o'clock and
Yeah,
it'll still be like a faint light left in the
I
sky.
know. And my motivation goes down as the sun sets and it gets darker. I have like no motivation. I'm like, I need to get in bed and like sleep.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like curious because right now it gets dark at like 6 o'clock, I think, 6:30. But usually when I work, I close and we don't close until 7. So when it's like dark at 5 o'clock, I'm like interested to see like how it'll be because I'm like, am I just gonna stand there for 2 hours and like do nothing? And like I'm gonna be like ready to go home because it's dark out and it's gonna be weird. But
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely that would be weird. I
Yeah.
think I was hearing about those, or I'm sure you guys heard about the hurricane in Jamaica. And I
Yeah.
was thinking about the last time we met, we like talked about the natural disasters and the environmental impacts of probably climate change. But I really hope that those people were okay and all the animals because I haven't seen an update. Maybe I'll look up an update right now.
Yeah, I've been like looking at it closer than I probably would have because I just came back from there
Oh,
and
wow.
like yeah, when did I come back? Like early August, so right before the semester started. It's like a decent bit ago, but not too long ago.
Hmm.
Literally like the nicest people you'll ever meet. Like they were all so nice, so kind. Like the calmest, chillest people ever too. So I've been like thinking more about them, about the people I met, and I hope like they're okay. And we see like videos and stuff, but it's kind of hard. It like actually makes me mad that like I'm watching a video and I think it's so real and then it turns out it's not. It's like
That
AI.
it's AI.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hate that too. I get
It,
fooled so many times on
Me too.
TikTok or Reels, and I'm like, when did this happen? And then it'll be like in
Mhm.
the corner, it'll have like the AI thing. And the comments will be like, anyone who believed this is so dumb. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. I'll be
Yeah.
watching a video or a TikTok and I feel like most of the time it doesn't have like the thing in the corner, but I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. And someone will just look at me and be like, that's AI. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's real.
They make it so
It's so
realistic.
believable. I know. I always get fooled.
Like even like my TikTok has a bunch of like the hurricane videos and people in the comments are like, it's AI. And I'm like, why would you make an AI video of like something horrible like that?
Yeah, I also think it's so interesting that the Southeast US and the Caribbean is the only place where hurricanes happen, like in the world. It's
Mhm.
so interesting to me because, like,
And
why? just
Yeah.
here. Like hurricanes don't happen in like Pacific, like Australia, California.
That is true. I'm not sure why.
It's
I
so
think,
interesting to me.
yeah, no. I remember when we were leaving, my mom, she asks really strange questions sometimes. She asked the guy, he was kind of like a tour guide on the bus as we were going from like the resort to the airport. And she asked him about hurricanes, and he was like, "Oh, we don't get hurricanes. Like, we're kind of protected here."
Mm.
And he was like, I mean, they're used to like the rain,
Yeah.
but he literally was like, "We just don't ever get them." And then they have this. So I was like, "Oh, they're definitely not prepared for this
Yeah.
or
Oh no.
ready."
And it's
And
like they rely just that is just like a tourism economy. And it's
yeah,
gonna take so long to rebuild. I mean, I don't know the extent of the damage, but it can't be anything good.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they were well equipped and everything, and yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm looking at the news right now and it looks really bad. Not like extremely bad, but yeah.
Yeah. I think it was like their worst storm they've ever had in history. Like
Mm.
mhm.
all of history.
Do you guys think this is because of climate change, or do you think like, it's just
Um,
like that area is prone to hurricanes?
um,
Um,
I think like okay, I think some of it like is naturally gonna happen. Like I think hurricanes are just like a natural event that just occur. Now, I haven't really like dove into the specifics, but I do think the frequency at which they occur or like the strength that they are, I think that is probably a factor of climate change. But that's just like how I see it. Again, I have to like dive into that whole like area to really know. That's just like how I see it.
yeah, I feel like there's been an excess amount of like tropical storm, hurricane, tropical storm. Like I feel like every time I look at the weather app or the news in general, there's like a new hurricane formation. But also on the other hand, like Hurricane Katrina happened like predating all of this climate change like debates and all of these um when the issue like really got brought forward. And that was like probably the most devastating hurricane in the United States. So you can look at it in both ways. And like if you go back in history and you look at like the pattern of hurricanes, it's like they've always happened, like Jenny said. But I do think climate change definitely has a factor in the the rate at which they're happening and probably like I think this season is extended now even just
Yeah.
because of like how warm it continues to be into the fall. I mean, not here. Obviously now we were bundled up yesterday, but I think there definitely is some factor, but I don't think it's completely climate change.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's probably, they were always prone and like, it happens, but the extent to which it did could be because of climate change.
Yeah, I think you would have to really like dive into the science behind it
Yeah, no,
and
I
really
agree.
know like your weather and be probably a meteorologist
Yeah.
to be able to analyze all these things. I mean, I could take the time and make charts and graphs about like the history of hurricanes, but Lord knows I don't have time for that right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know why, but it's telling me we have like 3 minutes left
Yeah.
until like the video runs out. Okay. I just want to make sure I do this right because it's been like probably a year since I did this. But when I end the video, will it like give me the option to like save it or like how do I upload it to YouTube?
I think it should give you the option. It'll be like, okay, this video was recorded, and then I think you
Okay.
can maybe download it as a file. I'm not completely sure.
Okay. Maybe I should like look that up.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely give you the option because if you're recording, then it's not just gonna be like, oh, bye.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, and then do only one of us have to submit the link?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
perfect.
can upload it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. All
Okay,
right.
we'll see you guys at the next group meeting.
Okay.
Okay,
Wait,
bye
was this the
Have a
guys.
last
nice
one, or is
week.
there one more?
There's one more.
Okay, discussion group meeting 3. Okay, yeah. It's the
Yeah.
week before Thanksgiving. Okay.
Okay, great.
All right.
Bye,
Okay,
guys.
Guys
bye guys.
later.